Art is too important not to share. Welcome to the Allie and Callie Artcast.
Hi, I'm Allie.
And I'm Callie. Welcome to the Artcast.
Yes, welcome.
Here we are.
Here we are. Another great day.
In Coeur d'Alene.
Yep. And
Yes.
summer solstice.
Oh, that's right.
Longest
Yes.
day of the year.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's also Art Walk tonight.
It is.
So 5 to 8. Go.
I know, an unusual art walk because of Coeur d'Alene last weekend.
Which I'm sure was fabulous.
Oh, yes, I'm sure it was.
I'm glad it's over.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry, people. But I love cars from afar. And when they're quiet. Anyway, that's my opinion. Welcome to my opinion.
Yep. Welcome to Callie's world.
Anyway, it's Art Walk, and we also want to mention there's a new gallery. She's only been out 1 month, I think, maybe two months. Jamie Rome.
Right, and she was on our podcast a couple years ago.
And she's got a great space. Her gallery is right by the Eagle, so get out. Go to Art Walk. It's a good night, and look for the yellow balloons. What else is going on, Allie?
Well,
Anything?
my mother is coming to town.
That's
and
right.
I'm very excited that she's going to be here. She gets to meet her third great-grandbaby.
That's right.
The little
Georgie.
daughter,
Oscar.
Georgie Goldie. But Oscar, because Hendrix calls her Oscar,
That's
because
right.
that is his favorite baby in the Ghostbusters movies.
It's pretty cute.
It's pretty cute.
Very cute. Well, we always love seeing Mary and having a good time talking to a fellow artist.
That's right.
From Virginia.
From Virginia.
Yes,
And
exactly.
she is a character.
She is a character. How mature might she be?
She will be 92 in August.
That's right, like my
And
dad,
she is
92.
Just still, I mean,
Kicking
she's
it.
doing great.
She's great. Yeah, she is a young spirit at heart.
Yes, she
for
is.
Sure. So very.
I don't know
fun.
how young her spirit is, but her body is young.
Her body is young.
Yep. Anyway,
oh my gosh.
well, we're pretty excited today.
Yes. Why are we excited, Allie?
Oh my God, Michael Koep. This is his 5th time on our show. He gets the 5-Timers Award jacket.
It is a beautiful jacket.
It is.
He's wearing.
It's a silk smoking jacket.
It looks.
It looks amazing on
It's
him.
a gold, black cuffed
Yes, it's
silk
it's
with the Allie and Kelly insignia on the breast pocket.
And let me say, you look.
It came with a pipe and a package of old world fantasy tobacco. I love this.
I love it.
I absolutely love this.
Oh, I'm so glad.
What's even funnier is that you remembered, I think you mentioned this, a smoking jacket last episode.
It's gonna happen. We're like, it's gonna
I'm so
happen.
thrilled.
We will make
We
it
don't
happen.
forget anything.
Yeah.
That's the main reason I came. 'Cause
Like, where's my damn?
all right.
Where's my
Thank
damn
you very
jacket?
much, and good afternoon. It's so wonderful.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Well, and what's so fun about having you on for so many times is that you have so many things going on.
so many.
And it's fun. It's fun. You're a writer, you're a musician, you are just,
A producer.
the everything.
I would call it a producer.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
call that new position?
A producer.
Yeah, it is
I
producer.
think.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. I know that I am moving so fast this last couple of months that any name works for me. Hey,
Yeah.
you works for me.
Hey you, what's happening?
And I'm gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been really crazy, but an adventure for sure.
Yeah.
Exciting. There's some fun stories for sure. But yes, thank you for having me. Thank you for this silk jacket.
You're welcome. Well, it's well earned.
The Rub
That's right.
are going to be very jealous.
I know they are.
Christopher in particular.
Oh, yeah.
And if you see him wearing it, don't, I lent it to him.
It's okay.
He has a tendency to raid my closet.
It might be. We might let him do that.
Yeah, that's
okay.
He'd look great
That's
in it,
all
too.
right.
I know. Well, what's fun is that he'll now aspire to be 5 times.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. Now, am I the first 5-timer?
No, you are actually the second member.
Second.
Ellen
You're the
Travolta
first.
was the first.
Ellen.
Yes.
Oh, Ellen.
You are the first male.
That does it, Ellen.
Member. Yeah, you guys
Coming
can
after
duke
you.
it out. Yeah, duke it out. Absolutely. But I must say, this jacket's pretty amazing.
It is pretty amazing.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So we're very happy.
I'll smoke outside, though.
Okay.
Okay.
Fabulous.
I have something that I need to share, though, on the way here. I was so validated. Cherie and I, on the weekends, we take drives around the area and go bunny spotting.
Oh, yeah.
We look for rabbits.
Okay.
Every time we've passed by this house, there has been a Volkswagen bus parked in the front.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry we sold it.
Alas.
Alas.
Because we are typically driving by in my Volkswagen bus.
Yes.
And we saw the bus, and we'd always see the bus, and typically there's a bunny or three lounging in the yard.
Oh, yeah.
And we would always notice. And in fact, on days that we couldn't find bunnies, we knew that if we drove by the house with the Volkswagen bus, that there would be bunnies.
Yeah.
Little did I know that this is your home.
Oh, you didn't know. Oh,
I
my
didn't
gosh.
know this was your
that's
house.
so funny. Yes, my husband is the bunny whisperer,
Yeah.
by the way. Yeah. He's mellowed out because we used to feed the bunnies, and we used to have oh my God,
thousands
so
of them.
many bunnies. But then my son got a dog. This was a couple years ago, and then we no longer had the bunnies in
I
the
see.
backyard.
I see.
They've moved to the front. We still have
They've
bunnies in
moved
the
to
front.
my yard, and
Are
I
they?
am
Okay.
I am way on the other side. I'm up in the garden district, so
right.
but they have migrated.
Yeah, they move on.
They have. We have bunnies in my front yard, which I absolutely love. They have names: Hazel, Blackavar.
Oh, I love that you named them.
Yay.
See, we
One's
had
named
names.
Jeff.
Oh, we've buried them in our yard. I mean, we literally we have Einstein. We have a couple in the backyard. Anyway, we love the bunnies. That's hence why I have no flowers in my backyard anymore. I only have pots.
What did they used to call this area?
The bunny corner.
The bunny corner.
So
bunny corner.
they run around on the segways, the Segway tour, and they come around. They go, here we have the bunny corner.
Yeah.
It all started with two bunnies. And I'm like, not my bunnies. It happened. I know exactly which house it started at.
And then a serpent came along.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yes. Well, welcome to our
Yeah,
bunny
well,
house.
I'm pleased. I had to share that.
And I'm sure there's some out there right now.
I would imagine so. I'll be looking for them as I
Yeah,
leave.
they're very sweet. I haven't named them because we do kind of get attached. We had Race Car last year where he was all black, but he had a white line down the middle of his
That's
forehead.
a cute name.
He was really cute.
Aw.
And we had Taxi Driver too. So anyway, we always try not to name them because you get attached.
Yeah,
attached.
exactly.
You're like, I don't want to have a
and
bunny.
then all of a sudden they're gone.
They're gone. They're like, oh, the bunnies are gone. Anyway.
Well, Michael, how was last year? Last year was your second year of the Michael Koep Concerts.
Yeah, so KOEP Concerts last year was actually a huge success. Huge success.
Yay.
All of the bands, all of the folks that came out, and a lot of the same emotions that come with it, because I think we had talked about this once before, but if not, I'll bring it up again, is that I'm used to sitting behind the drum set, or I'm used to showing up backstage, and then I or a tech will set up my drum set, and then I'll come on and I'll hit the drums, and then I wave and I say thank you so much, and I walk
Right.
off and I'll say hi to a couple people. I get in my car, somebody gives me a check, and off I get a try. But this is a different place that I wasn't expecting to have that feeling of walking between the band and the audience, and people coming up to me thanking me for thank you so much for in tears, and
Yeah.
and it's such a strange thing, and I didn't realize it would be as moving as that,
Right.
or as important, because as it turns many people in this community, and I suspect in any community where there's the arts, and you have a hand in bringing it to them, you guys included, people are very thankful and
Yeah.
and gracious.
I know,
and-
it is
and-
pretty amazing, and it's kind of unexpected.
Yeah,
It's
it
like,
is.
oh, really? That's
And they're-
something new?
And
Yeah.
these are free concerts.
They're free concerts. Well,
Right.
and just with that it comes this sort of unexpected currency, and that's a certain wealth that you really can't. All of that work coming up to it, where it might not be filling your coffer in ways that you
Right.
would like it to.
Right.
Yeah.
It, certainly, the gratitude is really important.
And those concerts are what night and where are they
So
again?
the first two that I took on were Sunday from 1 to 4 through July and August, and then Thursdays, July and August in Hayden at McIntyre park.
Right.
From 6 to 8:30.
And you took over Chris Guggemos's
Yes.
concert series,
Yes.
which just a nice little shout out to Chris.
Yeah,
for-
Chris, what a guy. Building on the shoulders of the Music Man, right? He's still very much present in all of it, and his model is something that we've taken and decided that we're going to move on to something else, and that's the Wednesday night shows. So, the former Live After 5, and now it has been retooled and reassembled into sort of a vision that Chris has put together, free to the community.
That's great.
But we are keeping some elements of what was there before. So we have food vendors. We'll have 7 or 8 food vendors. We have the Iron Horse doing the spirits.
Nice.
We'll have a couple of different bars there.
Nice.
We're going to have Fine Brewed coming in doing probably beer and seltzers and hard ciders and things like that.
Right.
I'll have artist vendors. So
Yay.
the local jewelry people and people doing face painting and, just we're going to try to turn every Wednesday into a little mini music festival.
Oh,
That's
that'll
great.
be great.
Yeah, 8
And that
shows.
starts in July?
Starts July 9th.
July 9th.
July 9th with Bruiser is starting.
Bruiser.
Starting the first one.
And what music is Bruiser?
Bruiser is just an incredible eclectic mix of classic rock and pop.
Oh, that'll
Really
be
good
fun.
stuff.
That's my favorite kind.
Really, really
Yeah.
great band.
Eclectic.
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 They're really great. They're
That's
really
good.
great. And every single band is top quality.
That's awesome.
It's kind of fun, given that I've been a pro musician for most of my adult life. That actually all of my adult life. Good God, that all the musicians.
Yeah.
I've managed to meet all of them. And,
That's great.
and all of them are friends, and all of the tech people, and all of the light people, and the guys that sweep up after shows have all become friends. And
So it's all local bands?
all local bands this year.
That's great.
Yeah. I think eventually we may reach out to maybe 1 or 2 national acts by the end of the decade. I'm not certain, but we do know that by the end of the decade we want to, stand shoulder to shoulder, like with Boise's free shows and Missoula's free shows, and
Right.
some of the shows
Nice.
that are happening in Oregon and
Yeah.
Washington.
Perfect.
Coeur d'Alene, we have this vision that people are going to come to town during summer, as they do, and obviously enjoy the lake and the hiking and the food and the people and the sights. But we also want them sort of in their back pocket taking the flyer to these shows, going in, and we're going to come back next year so that we can see this concert series.
Yeah.
And continue to come back. So some of these other cities, Boise especially, is just really just so inspiring to what they're doing down there. So we're going to try to do the same thing by the end of the decade.
That's so great.
And free. Most
Free to
important.
the community. Love it.
Greetings, listeners of the Alley and Callie Artcast podcasts. This is Jason from Tubbs Coffee Roasters. Keeping art alive and culture relevant is the heart and soul of our community of creatives. And as a local coffee roaster who loves a good origin story of a painter or a farmer or a musician, we proudly support the Alley and Callie's Artcast podcast's expansion and exploration through positive conversation. So grab a cup of coffee, preferably one from Tubbs Coffee Roasters, and tune in, humans. Your ears will thank you.
For all your screen printing needs, trust the local you can count on. Pyramid Printing has been a Coeur d'Alene favorite for over 2 decades.
Specializing in screen printing, embroidery, signs, banners, and stickers. For all jobs, big and small, just give Eric a call.
Email us at info@pyramidprintingcda.com or give us a call at 208-664-0254.
PyramidPrintingCDA.com.
So it's great that these are all free, Michael. So how does that happen exactly? Tell us.
Tell me, how do you do that?
How do you make it
Well,
happen?
I'll tell you, I received a lot of, in quotes, no way you're going to be able to pull this off, unquote. A lot of that.
Which
from
just
folks.
makes you want to do it even more.
That's
yeah,
true.
the little
That's true.
naysayers.
But I don't think that the naysayers were coming from a bad place. I think they
Right.
were really coming from a protective place. Is
Sure.
that they realize how much work that goes into it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everything from insurance to staging
yeah.
to lights
Yep,
to
yep.
city fees to security fees.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on. In fact, we were going to do this podcast in my office today, and we had to move it. But I was going to show you my battle plan, which is, marked 22 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper, and on the top of each one is headed security, and then notes, and then promotion, and then notes, and it's just hilarious to look at.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I even have a sword sitting on it, It's the cutest thing. I know. But no, what does it take? Well, it takes sponsors is what it takes. And so we live in this incredible place called Coeur d'Alene, and we have some people that really enjoy live free live music. And I went out and started knocking on doors, and I was met with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of support, a lot of smiles, a lot of joy because it's coming back, because it's such a great thing. So, for example, Pioneer Title came in, right? Peck and Peck came in, Kootenai Health came in, some of these big folks. But then, to step it even larger, our beloved sponsor that has been with us since the very beginning came in, STCU, with the presenting sponsor for all 3
Oh, that's
shows.
great.
Oh my gosh.
STCU is
Unbelievable.
really
STCU
amazing.
is the real deal.
They love to promote the arts, and I love that about them.
I was just so touched when they came in, and they, they've been sort of holding my hand, helping me with certain things. That obviously the financial thing helps get the ball rolling.
Right.
Sure.
But as with these others, you have Century 21, the Downtown Association, you have Revolution, these folks that are doing these really cool solar panels, is what they do. Really
cool.
incredible stuff. Guy Automotive, the Coeur d'Alene Tourism down at the Chamber,
Nice.
doing that stuff. Ticket Goat, the Hagedon Technologies came in to help. Runge Furniture, Ashley Financial, Les and Janet are so amazing. Came in from at the very beginning. The Coeur d'Alene Casino for the first time.
Yay!
I reached out,
Casino.
and they were so awesome and
That
so
is
excited
great.
about it. Garden Plaza, Avista, Chad Oakland, our good pal, came in and helped out.
good.
John Butler came in for Century
Nice.
21. The Iron Horse, of course.
Yes.
Inspire Magazine. We have Pilgrims. We have Magnuson, McEuen, Doherty. There's a whole bunch of others.
Yeah.
Right.
But those are our primary platinum.
Big ones.
Right.
Yeah.
The bigger of
Super.
them. And
Wow, that's a great, what incredible community support you've gotten.
Can we just...
Yeah.
Yes.
Major
It could not
plus.
happen without all
that
of those
support.
incredible
That's
That's
right.
so
people.
great. Without that support, these things couldn't happen. I mean,
right.
it just would be really hard to make it happen.
Yeah.
So, and it just goes to show you that people love music and they want live music, and to have it out in the parks.
And we have so many great bands
so
in this
fun.
area. So many
Yeah.
great bands.
It's great to have that
Yeah.
open space, outdoor music.
Well, and
Family.
also that businesses recognize that when you bring in live music, you are benefiting the business community. And I think that's another point to make, that a lot of people think, oh, you're just bringing music in. It's great for people to come and watch, but how does it benefit me? But it does, because it's bringing people in.
So one of the things that we talk about when I'm sitting down with a sponsor, and all of the sponsors that have been a part of this, we always touch on, obviously how it can benefit your business and
Right.
and what it means is in terms of just a symbol for the community. But better still, I'm not a political person, and if there's any kind of magic that we could use to unify people, I think the greater message that I'm going to be pushing through the entire season at each of the shows, when I get a couple minutes to say anything, is that we're all together. If
Right.
there's one thing that's going to bring us together, it's music, and we can leave everything outside the gate, and we can grab a cocktail and put our feet in the grass, and we can jump around together.
Yeah.
And those businesses that are hovering that made this happen, I think, want that more than anything else, because
Right.
being divided just makes it worse.
Right.
There is no real competition here. There's no political agenda. If there is a political agenda, it's the old school John Lennon, give peace a chance. And,
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
most certainly all you need is love, right? So
Right.
and music can do that. So that's the best part of all of it.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
those concerts are at what time?
Okay, so we have Sundays from 11 to 1.
Right.
July. All these are July and August. So
Right.
Sundays 11 to 1. Music at McEuen, which we're calling MAM,
Ma'am, that's
M.A.M. Music at McEuen.
Are you going to ma'am?
Yeah, well, I want to have people at the club, at the bar, before they go down.
Go to ma'am.
Are you going down, ma'am?
I gotta go to ma'am.
Yeah, we're going to go down to ma'am.
Have you been to
That's
ma'am?
what I'm hoping for.
I want it. I'm going to use it. Let's go to ma'am. Come on.
I had an idea for a poster earlier this morning, and it should be just, yes, ma'am. I think so, too.
Yeah.
Are you going to ma'am?
Do
ma'am?
it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyway,
That's
excuse me. Sorry, I digress.
I love that.
Wednesdays, the gates are at 4. So,
Okay.
And it goes to about 8:30.
That's perfect.
And then we have Thursdays at McIntyre Park in Hayden from 6 to 8:30. Yeah, just super excited. Some of the bands, I'll just
I
shout
want
out
to hear
some of the bands.
who's
so
playing.
if you'd like to see who's playing, go ahead and just jump on to KOEPconcerts.com. The schedule's right there. Or follow us on Facebook, please, everybody.
Yes,
Follow
and
KOEP
it's
Concerts on Facebook.
KOEP.
Oh, that was nice.
No, in case you didn't know how to spell it.
We've got, and I'll just throw some bands out. You can
Yeah.
find the actual thing, but we've got Jam Shack, we've got Karma Circle, obviously the Coeur d'Alene Big Band, Super Chrome, the Hankers, Soul Proprietor, Bruiser.
I love Soul Proprietor.
Bruiser. We've got Rhythm Dogs, Blake Braley, the Zach Cooper Band. We have Paper Flowers, which is our second show.
Yes.
Second show, second Tuesday of July. That's going to be fantastic. And then later at the season finale is going to be The Rub.
Love
That'll be fun.
I've heard of them.
I've heard of them too.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
I've heard those guys. We have Justin Priest.
Oh, yeah.
He's an incredible blues player. Brittany's House is a new band. Both Justin and Brittany's House are new groups that are playing this year. And then the finale over at in Hayden is Gigawatt, an 80s tribute band.
Love
They're
it.
absolutely amazing.
Fun.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned everybody there. Except for in the Coeur d'Alene Park, there's a new group that I've been playing with called P.S. I Love You.
Right.
Which is a love letter to the Beatles. And
Yes.
that will be doing the finale
Right.
on Sunday.
My favorite.
Yeah, it's kind of
The
fun
Beatles.
that we just had our last podcast with Gotham,
Yes.
and Carrie Bear plays in P.S. I Love You.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yes, he
Also
does.
Paper Flowers.
And Paper Flowers.
And The Rub.
Yeah.
And The Rub.
And
He's
The Rub.
busy.
I mean, he's busy.
He's a busy
Yep.
kid. He is a busy kid.
That sounds so fun.
I love that fellow.
All those, that all sounds so great. I mean, how are we going to have any time to do anything else?
We're not.
It's good to
I
be
know. We
all
have to go to
music
every
all
show.
summer,
Yep.
and especially if you're
I
new
love
to
it.
town. This is such a perfect night to go out in any of these parks. These are all great. Bring a picnic, or just eat there because you got
Right,
some.
exactly.
Do all of them have
Actually,
vendors?
let's address that too. One of the things that we had to kind of look at was how to get our audience on the same page that we are. We're going to try to do something, because it's a free show, we're going to really try to teach the community. Teach is the wrong word, but really just try to let everybody know this is really an amazing thing. One, please don't take a drink outside of the venue.
Don't ruin,
Don't
ruin it.
Please don't do that, because it could really screw everything up,
Yeah.
especially insurance-wise, and all prices go up.
Yep.
Those kinds of things.
Yeah.
We're going to say, at this point, you could bring food. I had an email from a gal just a couple of days ago asking these kinds of questions. Can we bring food and our own drinks and stuff? And I wrote back and I go, well, it is a free show, but I'm going to say we'd prefer if you came down to the free show,
Use the
and
vendors.
bought something from Taco Works.
Yeah.
They're awesome,
Yeah.
Or get something from, Poke Bowl.
Right.
The Poke Bowl place. They're coming down working hard to make sure that you've got dinner down there, so you don't have to. Grab a cocktail from the Iron Horse.
Absolutely.
We're putting all those things there so that we
Right.
can
You don't
be
have
a
to bring
community,
anything.
support everybody.
You don't have to bring a thing. Just
But
get
I think it is important to mention that people do not bring their own alcohol.
That's a no-no.
Because then the concert series loses their permit.
Yeah, we lose everything.
That's
So
a no-no.
That's a big deal.
So we're going to have these fun little signs, and they'll be, we'll be talking about stuff like that. And typically, I think people are really helpful and
I
appreciative.
think most people are.
And they're
Yeah.
going to get it. They'll dig it.
bring a blanket. That's all you need to bring.
Bring a blanket and,
maybe
heck,
a lawn chair,
if
whatever.
you've got a couple kids that just, they don't want anything down there but their peanut butter jelly sandwich, hell, put them in a bag, bring the peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Yeah,
down. My
that's
God.
fine.
If you can't afford it, come on. We're going to make those moves for people.
Right.
But buy a taco and get a beer and shush.
It sounds
And listen to the
good.
music.
And just shush and
Just
enjoy
listen to
the
the
live
music.
music. Oh my God, we're so fortunate that we have these concerts available to us. I mean,
Yeah.
God,
It's such a community builder.
It is so
It really
good.
is. It really is. It's going to be
amazing.
super cool.
and
I'm
you're
really
also
excited.
doing something right now that I think is fun. Tuesday nights.
Oh my gosh.
Let's talk about that just
Oh,
for
yeah.
a minute.
Oh, I'd love to.
Tuesday nights at the Iron Horse.
So this is a cool thing. I played music, again, as I said, my whole adult life, and I'm a drummer. And when you're a drummer, you rely on your other musicians, obviously, because I can't go out and do a solo show
Right.
you know, by myself in a coffee shop with my drum kit. I mean, I just don't think that's really that relaxing.
Well, you could.
I
but-
could, and I've seen it done, but I'm just not that cool, nor am I that good. Nevertheless, I've always worked with solo musicians, guitar players or keyboard players,
Yeah.
and every one of them, at some point in their career, have had what's called a residency. So they'd go out and they'd get a coffee shop on Thursday, somewhere, Wenatchee, and they
Yeah.
play
Yeah.
every Thursday in Wenatchee from 5 to 8, and they build a little thing, and they practice their chops, and they get it together. Carrie has a residency in Cataldo right now on Wednesday nights.
Right.
Christopher has a residency at Zola over in Spokane on Thursday nights. And so I thought, I'm in my late 50s, I thought, I want to do my own residency.
Yeah.
So I went down to the Iron Horse, which are old family friends, and talked with Mike and Bryce. And in March, starting in March, I started my own residency from 6 to 9 p.m. in the dining room of the
Right.
Iron Horse, not in the bombast craziness
Yes.
of the bar area, but
Yeah.
instead right next door where there are hardwood floors, charming brick walls,
Yes.
warmth, incredible memorabilia on the walls. It's
Yeah.
just been fantastic. The sound in there is amazing.
It is.
They offer dinner. We go 6 to 9. The band plays 3 sets, and it's not really loud and it's not really super quiet. It's just right amount. It's become a supper club. It's the supper club in Coeur d'Alene right now.
I love that.
And
And
we're going to
it's-
turn it into a tapas martini kind of concept as we move forward. It's going to get just a little
Yay.
bit
That's
more and more
perfect.
upscale. is
Oh,
the plan.
awesome.
More
The
my
Rub
speed.
was there for the first
Right.
month. P.S. I Love You was there for the second month. The Rub came back. Now P.S. I Love You is there for every Tuesday night in June. Through the summer, I think the Rub comes back. There's going to be a couple of other things. But when the fall hits, I'm going to be playing with some of the musicians on this list and other musicians that not a lot of folks have heard, where they're going to come in for a night and it's going to be a band, and I just get to play drums with them. So I get to play drums with the people that I've always admired. So
That's
super
so
exciting.
fun.
Oh, that's really fun.
Yeah.
I love that. And
yeah.
the
Well, and
time
a great introduction to
For new
other
people.
maybe upcoming musicians
Right.
or just musicians who just need to get their name out there.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we turn it more into like that dinner show where the audience is involved. You know, we screw around on stage. There's no real,
Yeah.
you know,
and you
it's-
can
it's a
be
show.
in bed by 9:30.
And that
And you
is-
can be in bed by 9:30. That's the thing.
I know. I have to be in bed by 8.
I know. That's okay. That's late for Allie, but I can maybe make it till 9:30. But
Yeah, I
that's
can.
awesome.
I can if there's good music.
If there's good music,
Yeah.
we can stay awake.
Oh, but thanks for bringing that up, because
Yeah.
that's been another interesting thing while
No.
all of this is going on.
Yeah.
well, we've been a couple of times, and
we love any
had
live
a
music
blast.
is the best.
And always call the Iron Horse.
Okay.
667-7311, I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's correct.
We'll put it in the
Yeah, that'd
in
be
the
great.
link.
Call
Yeah.
and reserve a table, because it's been sold out every show. So it's really exciting to have.
That's
that.
fun.
oh no,
And
we're
people
just
stay all
going to
night.
text you and say we need an Allie and Callie table.
If you do that, and I will get it for you.
All right.
I will. Because I now have a smoking jacket.
I know. We're like, we gave them
That's
that.
right.
Yeah.
We're the Allie and Kelly.
Here's another little fun anecdote. Oh, did you find it?
the number?
I wasn't even close. 667-7314. I was off by 3.
Oh, okay.
667-7314.
That's the Iron Horse.
If you want to make it.
Tuesday nights,
Tuesday nights.
6 to 9.
So
Okay.
while that's happening, and while the Wednesday or the KOEP Concerts thing is happening, my good friend Bill Greenwood, Parks Director,
Yeah.
calls me.
Love Bill.
I do too. He's
Yeah,
just,
he's a good
great.
guy.
He's been so great in sort of mentoring me through this, right along with Jim Leon and Katie Leon.
Yeah.
You guys know the Leons?
Yes.
Both those two have been such incredible help walking me through, helping me to connect with sponsors that I would not have had access to. Just
Right.
really amazing stuff, and just great advice. while this is happening, Bill calls and he says, Michael, what would you, we've been receiving some complaints down here at the city. And I said, well, shit, Bill, I haven't even started. So, no, he said, we've been getting some complaints that that the city hasn't held anything on the 4th of July in the city park.
Oh,
and
how dare we?
I said, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, we're thinking that we'd like to maybe put something together. Would you be interested in maybe putting something together?
Oh.
I said, like what? He said, well, how about music all day and a few vendors? And okay. So I started looking into it. Well, as of yesterday, we have 7 vendors.
Ooh.
We have 4 musical acts. We have Oscar Owens opening the show, Riverboat Dave and Jess Kuntz as a duo next, Dr. Phil and the Enablers, and then the Rub before the fireworks.
Nice.
Yay.
Then we have, I think, 30 artisan vendors. So it's a little mini festival.
Oh, wow.
In
Mini
the
festival.
park.
Oh my
30.
God, that's wonderful.
Yeah, my brain hurts.
I bet it does.
How do you sleep at night?
Well, Cherie, not very well. Cherie would tell you, will you go to sleep?
Oh my God, that's so much.
Oh my
Wow.
word.
That's
So
great.
that's going on at the same time.
That's
Oh
awesome.
my God, that's so
On the 4th.
exciting.
Yeah,
Oh.
5 days before the first Music at McEuen. So it's-
Yeah.
yikes. It should be fun.
It will be fun.
And
Yeah.
the 4th of July is first of all, if you've never been here, it's crazy. So park early and
right.
just
Yeah.
find a good parking spot and then just enjoy the day.
Or find a ride.
Get here on the 2nd.
Uber in.
and
Uber in and Uber
just
out. That's
decide
probably
to
the best
spend
way
a
to
couple
do it.
days here.
We do have a free bus system here called City Link.
Yeah, and just enjoy
I rode it
yourself.
yesterday. It was great.
Yeah, but oh my God, that sounds like so much fun.
You know, when we first started talking about it, Cherie was a little like, well, don't we want to go down to the parade or, just spend a day with family? And I thought, yeah, that would be fun. And then the more we started to think about it, we get to spend the whole day in our beloved little city park.
Yeah.
And listen to music all day and food's everywhere. And
Love that.
Kids running in the grass and
Yeah.
fireworks right there. It's going to be, it's
No,
gonna
that's
be cool.
pretty awesome.
I'm pretty excited because
I'm game for that.
I won. Well, I won. I
you
paid
won.
for it, but I got 4 VIP tickets to sit in the VIP section of the parade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And so I invited my son and daughter-in-law and grandkids to come and sit with us in the parade, and then we could go down to the park
There you
and
go.
enjoy the festival. I
Nice.
think what a great day that will be.
would be
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm excited about it. I'm a little nervous. I've never done anything quite that big. And that kind of leads me to another fun little story. So I've got so many crazy little stories.
Ever feel like work and life are pulling you in opposite directions?
You are not alone. That's why we created Thrive, Learn, Connect, a podcast where personal growth meets professional success.
Each week, we share real conversations, insights, and actionable takeaways to help you navigate life and work with more ease, joy, and purpose.
Whether it's managing stress, building better relationships, or finding balance, we are here to help you thrive.
Listen to Thrive, Learn, Connect wherever you get your podcasts, because growth starts with connection.
What's your crazy new idea?
Well, it's not a crazy new idea, really. It's more of just, some of the adventures that were happening.
Okay, what's that?
One of which was I take all of this on and I start to think one evening late at night, I'm tossing and turning, and as you do, and I started to think, I've done these concerts before, but I've never done Music at McEuen, and I've never had probably more than 1,500 people. So we have the potential of putting maybe 3,000 to 4,000 people. The Rub put 4,000 people in the park at the last grand finale we did there.
Wow.
Right.
So I'm thinking, my goodness. And then I started to think about safety, and I started to think about, I'm hosting this and I'm bringing them all together, and what if right?
Yeah.
So I got on the telephone the following morning and I called the police department and I asked, hi, my name is Michael, and I would like to, I've never said this before, so I'm going to kind of savor it. Silence on the other end. I'd like to make an appointment with the chief of police. And the gal went, excuse me? Just absolutely by the book. And I said, I just find that kind of funny. I'm calling to see and I have to explain myself.
Yeah,
and
why?
She
And-
says,
yeah.
okay, so I get an appointment. Then as a week later, I show up at the police department and I walk in the front door and they've got that bulletproof glass thing with a circle and the gal behind there just kind of with those sort of eyes. They're like, what are you doing here? Seems like everybody that walks through that. And I smile and I say, hi, I'm going to savor this. I'm here to see the chief of police. And she goes, what's your name? And I tell her. She goes, sit on the bench. And I thought, okay. And I go sit on the bench.
All right.
And the door opens and out walks the chief of police. Lee White. He is just big smile, super kind. And I said, are you the chief of police? And he goes, yes, I am. And I said, I've never met the chief of police before. This is really cool. And I literally was a little starstruck. I mean, that's a big job.
I've been
That's a serious, big, scary job.
It is, yeah.
And he takes me back with a couple of his captains, and these guys are, 7 feet tall.
Enormous.
And just super kind. And told him, I don't really know what I'm doing here.
Yeah, concerns.
I have some concerns. I'm inviting a bunch of people to a really large party.
And it could get really big.
And I would, I wanted you to know who I am, what I'm attempting, and what we're trying to put on here, this community thing, and all the things that we've spoken about on this podcast. And then I said, we'd just love for you to be present, if you can. When people see you, they love it. You know, they just feel safe. I'll feel safer if you're around. And I think he was really happy to hear that. I don't know that most folks would be inviting a police department to a party like this, but I'm going to have them around is going to be really cool. And so that made me feel a lot better. And he obviously gave me a bunch of tips and pointers on security and that kind of thing.
Great.
But yeah, kind of a funny story.
That's good.
I think being transparent with all community entities is a really good idea.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. And even tomorrow.
And they appreciate it.
Even tomorrow, I'm going to call the fire department. I'm going to ask, could I meet the fire chief, please? I'm going to try to go meet him as well.
Okay.
That'll be really cool.
All right. So whoever is in charge of the fire department, expect a call from Michael Koep.
And I called the mayor, too, and I met the mayor. But I've known Woody forever.
But
I treated it the same way. I said,
I bet
I've
you
never
know
said
Woody,
this.
though.
Yeah.
I'd like to meet with the mayor, please. And, of course, I go to his office and meet him, and he goes, hey, buddy! Give a big hug. And then he spent a lot of time in the office, and he's just like, I can't believe this. Look how cool this is. I'm like, yeah, it is cool. He's such a great mayor.
He is.
Really
he's a fun guy.
Really,
He is fun. Been around forever. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, this is exciting.
I know.
So much going
Michael,
on.
not only is all this going on, but you've written some books, and
that's right.
Which Gig Mencha is one of my all-time
One of
favorites.
my favorites.
Yeah.
Love every minute
But you've
of it.
got the New Earth mythology,
Yes.
and you've been working on getting that into either a series or a movie or something. Where are you at with that?
Yeah, what's the update?
Wow. Well, as I was meeting the chief of police, I thought, we are still moving forward. I'll give you a couple of quick things that have happened over this last year that have been vexing, frustrating, infuriating. We had a longtime showrunner that we hired and pulled in, and he has since left the project.
No, why?
I don't know that I should go into too many details.
To. Okay, no, you don't have to.
But he's left the project mainly in a way that wasn't right for us, and we felt really sort of hurt by it.
Yeah.
That being said, just prior to that, we ran into some trouble with his union. When he went on strike, there was a couple of payments that our company was supposed to be making for particular fees and dues and insurance and retirement when he wasn't working for us. So we
Going
were
to pay
paying
for
them.
it because he wasn't doing it.
But actually, we were very transparent. Are we supposed to still be doing this? Never heard anything. Next thing you know, the WGA wants to sue us.
Oh, boy.
So this became a huge thing. After a certain amount of time, it just became comical. This is supposed to be about trying to create a piece of art, and it can't seem to get up and over this hump.
Right.
Yeah.
All of that being said, our fearless director, her name is Lisa Demain. She's Westworld fame.
Right.
All kinds of incredible pedigree. And a BAFTA winner named Stephen McAteer out of Scotland.
Love
BAFTA
it.
is an
British.
Emmy.
I've heard it.
Emmy for Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a BAFTA winner. Got a hold of the work that we had been doing, and we've just signed another agreement with them. So they're working in the European theater right now.
Nice.
To put it together. So now it's yet again another hurry up and wait to see if these characters make the screen.
It just takes forever to get
It sure
anything
does.
done. So it's
man.
just, perseverance.
But yay, at least it's moving forward.
It is. It is moving forward. I'm so grateful for that.
But you still have the books, so you can read the books.
I know.
Yeah.
And you can get the
are
books
good.
on Amazon.
Yeah.
You can
Yes.
get them at Kindred. You
The
can
New
get
Earth
them.
You can
mythology.
listen to them on Audible.
Yeah.
Which I highly recommend.
Yeah.
They were done by Skyboat Media, and this is a Grammy Award-winning company.
Wow.
Blew my mind when I found out they were doing it. Because typically an author will receive a note from the company that's going to do the audiobook, and you sign the contract, and they send you something that says, all right, well, we're going to take it, we're going to get it done, we're going to have it produced for you, and we will send you 3 samples of 3 different narrators.
Oh,
For you to choose the one that you'll have some feedback on.
Right.
And I was super excited, and months and months went by, and we never received anything.
Yeah.
Finally, my publisher reached out to them, and he came back and said, "Oh, it's already being produced." And I said, "Well, we didn't
We didn't
heard
get
the
a
narrator."
choice.
Yeah.
And he said they gave it to Skyboat Media. It's being done by multiple narrators.
Ooh.
So it's a multi-piece.
That's nice.
Well, yeah, because
Because you have more
there's
you have
Because
so many
there's so
characters.
many characters in
5
it.
or 6 points of view throughout the entire trilogy.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Each one of them has taken it on, and they just knocked it out of the park.
Oh, I love
I
that.
heard it
great.
the first time, started crying.
Oh,
awesome.
Not through the whole thing,
Right.
but just in a couple moments where I thought, how did they do that? How did that narrator get that so right? And
I love that.
So I've read the book, so now I want to get the Audible because now I'd love to hear it through someone else's voice.
I know that would
That'd
be fun.
Cool.
Stephen
That'd be
Rudnicki
cool.
is the guy that does Loch Neworth.
Really?
David Rudnicki, if you were to Google him, he's
Yeah.
another one of those Grammy Award-winning,
Wow.
velvet voice.
Nice.
Really well known, and
Ooh.
really moved and humbled by them taking that on.
I know, that's so exciting. I
That's
mean,
fun.
that's so validating of your work that you would have
Such talented
people
Yeah.
take over
Yeah,
your
I still
project.
don't. Half the time I listen to it, think somebody else wrote it. I'm like, what the hell? There's no way.
I did that.
I know. Well, that's a whole nother podcast talking about the book. Well, we already did that podcast.
We did that.
did, yes.
But it was very cool.
And that's why I'm wearing a silk jacket.
Amen. Spooled it up.
Well, let's
There's
have a
5
toast
years.
to that.
Yes.
Because,
Toast to
yay.
5 years
Five amazing
of
episodes
podcast
with Michael Koep.
Yay.
He's amazing, amazing for our community. And cheers to all the many KOEP concerts. Check out KOEPconcerts.com.
Yep, and it's KOEP
Concerts.
Yes.
Concerts.
And get on
.com.
Facebook or any social media and start following us, because that's one of the main ways we get the schedules out and let you know who's playing. That's how we share our sponsors.
Yeah.
So incredibly important. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Check it all, because there's going to be
Absolutely.
a lot of music happening.
And don't forget, if you're listening to this, to like, share, follow, and subscribe.
And
because
listen
Allie and Callie, we need the kudos.
Yes.
Because that's what you do.
I know, right?
That's what you do on a podcast.
Yeah, just let us know you like us.
like Sally Field. You really like me. You really like me. Anyway, blah,
Anyway.
blah, blah. Thank you, Michael.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you.
Well, thank you so much for
I
having
know.
me. I
Michael,
love your podcast. Thank
you're
you for
amazing.
having me.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Yep. I'm Allie.
And I'm Callie. And whatever you do today, make sure it's creative and listen to some live music.
The Allie and Callie Artcast is brought to you by Tubbs Coffee Roasters, ethically sourced, locally roasted coffee, and Pyramid Printing and Embroidery, serving customers near and far for over 2 decades.